The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The Jets 2025 schedule is out, and there is a clear path for the Jets to navigate if they want to make 2025 a real season. We'll get into that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, here on a Thursday, the day after the official Jets schedule is out. We had it yesterday afternoon because this fan base continues to be amazing with the leaks. So we had the full schedule. It was, in fact, correct what we covered on the show yesterday for those of you that missed it. But now that I've had a chance to really go more in depth and go week by week, month by month, I have some additional thoughts on the schedule. I also have plenty of thoughts on the Knicks game last night, that third quarter of hell that we witnessed. I will talk about that in just a bit. But let's take a look right now at the schedule. And before I even mention the schedule, if you're interested in coming to Tampa with us for the Asmaniac road game this year, that's going to be the game. It's September 21st. Please join the Patreon ASAP. We are working on all the details as we speak. Plus, if you're interested in the group buy game at MetLife against the Carolina Panthers, make sure you guys join the Patreon and get in the Discord. All the info is going to be funneled there. It's the best way to stay in touch with people who are interested in tailgating with us, sitting with us, meeting up with us the day before the game. So patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Let's get into the schedule right now. I think the biggest thing, once you get past the shock and awe of, okay, you're getting Aaron Rodgers in all likelihood week one, is beyond Rodgers week one. Once the pomp and circumstance of all that settles in, this is not an easy start for the Jets. After week one, you're playing the Bills. Now, the Jets have played the Bills well at home. Even last year in Ulbricht's first game, a game they probably win if Greg Zuerlein was anywhere close to the version he was the previous 2 years. They usually play the Bills well, but they're going to be an underdog in that game. And let's be real, if Rodgers is the Steelers quarterback, they're an underdog in that game. They're going to be an underdog in Tampa. Now, I don't think that game is incredibly daunting. Like, the Bucs are a good team, but I don't look at the Bucs as a game the Jets can't win, and I feel the same way about the Dolphins the week after. So I don't look at this stretch as, wow, they're screwed 0-4 out of the gate. But if the Jets aren't careful, they could bury themselves. So I think getting out of the gate at least 2-2, if we're going to go kind of month by month, break down the season in quarters, that's the path for the Jets. They have to get out of the gate in position where there's still a season to be played into the month of October. I think the same thing could be said for the Cowboys as we look at the month of October. The Dallas Cowboys are a team that is incredibly unproven. They have some talent, sure, but they have a first-time head coach in Brian Schottenheimer. Welcome back to MetLife, Shotty. And I don't look at the Dallas Cowboys as a game that the Jets can't win. So you look at the schedule, right? We know about the London game. And the Jets obviously are choosing to avoid the bye post-London. Now, I was an advocate of taking the bye after London for this reason. A reset for a first-year coaching staff, right? At the bye week, you make your biggest adjustments. You go over what has worked, what hasn't, and good teams implement new things or adjust things. That's a foreign concept to us as Jet fans, but that's what the good teams do during the bye week. And we know the Jets' record under the previous coaching staff was abysmal. with more time to prepare and especially out of the bye. But ultimately, I can understand the Jets saying, look, the London travel is not that big of a deal. So we don't need the bye. We'd rather it be at the midway point of the year, which is what they have. So I understand those wanting the bye after London. Me personally, I would have taken it. But after you play Denver in London, and by the way, the travel for Denver coming out west all the way to London is far worse than the Jets hopping on a plane going from New York to London. The flight back from LA or San Fran is actually a more difficult travel schedule for the Jets than the London flight. But I just thought a new staff would want the bye. That said, there's a winnable game immediately at home after the London game against Carolina. Then you play Cincinnati. That's a tough game, no doubt. But then you head to the bye. And this is where the Jets have an opportunity. If they could get to the bye still alive, the Jets have a real chance to make something of their season. Now, we know there's a ton that has to happen before we can even think about a stretch where the Jets could play well and make a playoff run, right? They are so far away from that, but let's dream a little bit, right? Why not? We're fans. We love this team. We see teams every year surprise in the NFL. It hasn't been the Jets in a long time, but we're certainly due. But you look at this, right? After the bye week, take a look at the schedule down the stretch. Home game against Cleveland. Could be Shedeur Sanders at that point, or Dylan Gabriel. At New England. Not going to be easy. But we don't know what New England is just yet. At the Ravens. That's probably the toughest game on the schedule. But then after that, look at the home stretch for the Jets. There's a path to play meaningful games late in the year. If this team's well coached, and that's the biggest unknown. It's why I can't sit here and predict the Jets to win more than 6 games right now. Because I just don't know. You know, I've bought into previous regimes before, and we've all been burned. I got to see it. I think that's fair for Jet fans to say, we got to see it. But if Aaron Glenn's the real deal, and this team gets better as the year goes on, the schedule is favorable down the stretch. Home Atlanta, home Miami in the cold. You love your chances in that. Might be Zach Wilson at that point. At Jacksonville. At New Orleans. These are all winnable games. All these are winnable football games for the New York Jets. Home New England. And then we'll worry about Buffalo if it even matters. It's the last game ever at Highmark Stadium. So you'll get all the former Bills players there in a pregame ceremony, I'm sure. But the Bills probably have the division wrapped up. There's a chance all the seeding is wrapped up too. I don't know if they'll need that game. And it's great that it's so late in the year because you don't have to worry about it. You play Buffalo once early. If you want to beat Buffalo, your best chance to do it is probably early in the year. We see the best teams in the league typically play their best as the year gets going, right? The Eagles last year, who won the Super Bowl, they were what, 2-2 before they went on their incredible run? So this is a schedule that, while has certainly moments where you go, that's tough, there's not this gauntlet of teams you feel like you have no chance. Jets are playing a lot of unproven quarterbacks. Jets are playing a lot of first-year coaches. There's an opportunity here if this team is well coached because the talent level on the Jets is going to be vastly underrated because people see the names they lost. And I'm not even just talking about Aaron Rodgers. They see Devontae's not here, right? They see DJ Reed left in free agency. They don't know that DJ Reed really wasn't that great last year. They don't know that Hassan Reddick was an abomination last year. That Javon Kinlaw was arguably, besides Clemens, the worst player on the defense at times last year. They don't know this. They just see the names and the contracts these guys got, and it's, the Jets are terrible. And look, they might not be good. I'm not sitting here saying this is a great team. I have questions. But on May 15th, I think we're allowed to be a little positive here. This schedule is not daunting. Some other notes on the schedule here, right? 11 of the Jets' games are against teams that didn't make the playoffs last year, and it's a year-to-year league, so things change, but that's not crazy. Jets have 13 games that are expected to kick off at 1 p.m. We're back in the window we belong. We're back, baby. No primetime games. Don't have to worry about that hoopla. There's only 2 of them. One of them's in Miami, and it's part of a doubleheader. So the Jets won't even get all the attention that night, which is nice. So if there's a debacle It will only partially be covered nationally, as opposed to the usual ram it up our you-know-what when things happen in primetime that are horrible for us. And then the other primetime games, New England. Look, it's tough. It's Thursday night. You're on the road. That's hard. But this is not a schedule where you go, well, there's just no chance. This is not the Giants' schedule where it's hard to find a win for the Giants. That's how bad it is. I think the biggest thing for the Jets here, the most crucial thing they're going to have to survive is this opening stretch, because you look at some of the defenses they're playing. 5 of the Jets' first 6 opponents were ranked in the top 10 in QBR defense a season ago. And it's a year-to-year league, but Justin Fields, playing for his career as a starter, right? He's going up against some tough defenses to start the year. But none of these games earlier, they can't win. I think the path for the Jets is they have to stay afloat going into the bye week. Can they go out there and give themselves a chance to be one of those teams that puts it together late and goes on a run down the stretch? We'll bring up the Lions example a lot. That's what the Lions did the year they finished 9-8 and just missed the playoffs, right? Remember they sent Rodgers into the darkness retreat after the 2022 regular season finale? There's a path to it. There's winnable games. It's a lot of East Coast times. There's not a tremendous amount of travel. Most of the travel, if you just look at the mileage, is the London trip, which is not brutal. You know, this team, if well coached, should be able to play meaningful games going into December. And that should be the goal. Get hot down the stretch. After the Week 8 road game, the Jets' only road games over the next 6 weeks are in New England and Baltimore. And look, if you're going to play Thursday Night Football on the road, at least play in New England where it's going to be, a 50-minute flight for the Jets. Right, last year, the Jets got a break when they played Houston, having to fly 4 hours on a short week to MetLife. It's one of the games the Jets won. I don't think that's a coincidence. Only one of the Jets' final 6 opponents posted a winning record last season, and that was the Bills. And that last game of the year, as I mentioned already, might not mean anything for them. I don't think it will. There's a path. You're playing teams with new coaches. You're playing teams with young quarterbacks. A couple of rookies could be thrown in there, right? New Orleans could have a rookie starting for them. Cleveland could have a rookie starting for them. Miami could have Zach Wilson starting for them. So I think there's some cautious optimism from the schedule. But the key is, can they navigate the early stretch? And look, Steve Young would say for years, the first 4 weeks of an NFL season are an extension of the preseason because you don't have two-a-days anymore. Guys don't play much in the preseason. So there's a feeling out process for all these teams at the beginning of the year. And the best example is, once again, the Eagles were 2-2 last year. How often would the Patriots be around 500 the first month of the year? And it's, this is the end for Brady and Belichick. Tom Brady, he's washed. It's over. And then the best teams figure it out. Make adjustments. There's a path to it. If Glenn's the real deal, that's ultimately what it comes down to. Can Aaron Glenn be the right guy? A good offensive line, a good running game, and a good defense is what the Jets should have. We know that. That can win you games if you're well coached. That's how the Steelers have done it. It's not like they've had Hall of Fame quarterbacks since Big Ben retired. Tomlin's that great. Doesn't always look pretty, but they win. That's what you're going to have to do if you're going to have any chance to make something of this season. And I think they could do it. I don't think it's crazy. That was the 2006 Jets with Eric Mangini. Pennington stayed healthy. The defense was really good. They were opportunistic. Special teams, they were excellent. Shout out to Mike Westhoff and Leon Washington. Offensively, they didn't turn it over. They ran the ball well. That's the path. They could do it. And if they play meaningful games late in the year, I think we'd all sign for that right now. But that's really what it comes down to. But get to the bye week alive. And if Glenn's a good coach, they're going to get better down the stretch because that's what the good teams do. That's what the well-coached teams do in this league. And once again, only one of their final 6 opponents posted a winning record last year, and that was Buffalo. So there's a path to it. Don't have difficult travel. You stay in the Eastern time zone for most of your games. You go out and shock the world because no one's going to pick them. But there's a path to it. So I think overall, be encouraged, be cautiously optimistic, but also be real that we're once again banking on a first-time head coach from a defensive background, first-time offensive play caller, and right now a quarterback that at times has flashed, but more often than not has left you wanting more. But has proven in his career you can win games with him if the right things are around him. And hopefully the right things are around him. I don't know the answer to that. I don't. I hope Tanner Engstrand's the guy. But we'll find out. But ultimately, I don't think this is a doom and gloom schedule. And I think that's a positive. So we'll see if they could actually go out there and give us a real year. Because God, does this fan base deserve it. The amount of interest in some of these road game trips and tailgates for the home opener and all the stuff I've been involved in already in the last 18 hours since the schedule came out. Just unreal how great the fan base remains. Once again, road trip to Tampa, the Asmaniac road trip, September 21st, Raymond James Stadium. We are working on details for a Saturday night meetup. We are working on details for a section where we will encourage all listeners to buy their tickets. A section that is hopefully covered from the Sun. It's in the works. So join the Patreon if you want all that information as soon as we get it. I'm going to reach out to a couple of hotels in the Tampa area and see if we could secure some sort of group rate for listeners. So that's the road game meetup. And our group buy for the home game will be the Panthers game on October 19th. So we're trying to make sure that the Jet season is still alive when we do these meetups so people are still excited and want to be a part of it. So I'm looking forward to it. This fan base remains the best, and let's hope we get a real season because I am dying for one, man. Dying for it. This Knick run has been so much fun, and I just can't imagine what it'd be like if the Jets gave us a fun year because this fan base is great. All right, speaking of the Knicks, first let me thank a bunch of the Asmaniacs who showed up last night to American Whiskey to watch Game 5. I thought we had them in the first half. We took their best shot. Game was tied. And then the second half happened, the third quarter happened, and that was an absolute disgrace. And look, I'm not going to sit here and panic, but I'm very disappointed. I believe the New York Knicks are still going to win this series. I believe the New York Knicks are going to win Game 6 tomorrow night. But they had a chance to stick a fork in Boston, and they didn't do it. That said, I don't believe a lot of what happened for Boston is necessarily sustainable as we look ahead to Game 6 tomorrow night. I believe the New York Knicks are going to get a big-time performance from Jalen Brunson. Big time. I don't believe he's going to foul out again and get called for 5 fouls in the third quarter. What a disgrace that is. I don't believe that we're going to see Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby shoot a combined 5 for 26 from the floor. I don't see that happening. The Knicks have been in the spot where they've had a brutal loss and then have responded and bounced back multiple times over the last few years, including in this postseason where they answered the bell down 14 in game number 4 at the Garden, or game 4, the other night, answered the bell, led by their captain, scoring 18 in the third quarter, 26 in the second half, and won that game. I don't believe what we saw from Luke Cornett and how well we saw Derek White shoot the 3 ball. I don't think that's necessarily sustainable. Do I think Jaylen Brown will play well? Yeah, the guy got paid $350 million. He should play well. But I think the Knicks at home, more intensity, a bounce-back performance, I think that's what's going to happen now in Game 6, and it better, because you don't want to tempt fate. Do I think the Knicks can win a Game 7 in Boston? I think they could. Do I want to deal with the stress of that? Where anything can happen in a Game 7? Absolutely not. It was meant for the Knicks to win this series at home. They have not won a home playoff series, right? A game at home that advanced them to the next round since the last time this Knicks team was actually headed to an NBA Finals. Right? The Knicks, they have never, in the last 25 years, clinched a playoff series at home. It's time. Garden's going to be up for grabs tomorrow night. They got to get it done. I know Brunson's going to show up. Who's helping him? Can I get something from Karl Anthony Towns? I've been incredibly disappointed with his disappearing acts at times in these playoffs, especially this series. He had a hollow 19 points last night. I thought he was terrible on defense. The lack of just any ability to really just hit the threes we're accustomed to seeing, that's been disappointing. I think the Knicks need to get Mitchell Robinson out there more. And look, the one guy, really, there are a couple guys last night that I want to give props to. Mitchell Robinson, awesome. Love that he's hitting his free throws. He changed his form, if you guys noticed. That's great to see. Need more of that from Mitch. I think we'll get that. Deuce McBride gave some good minutes off the bench. And then this guy, man, the heart of the city. All right, Knicks in 6. All right, Josh Hart balled out last night. This guy, shooting-wise, you never know game to game what you're going to get from Hart. But I know I'm going to get a guy that is always going to give you maximum effort at all times. This guy is a warrior. This guy would fit right in with any of the great Knicks teams in their history. So I still think the Knicks are winning this series. It's 3-2. We all would have signed for the opportunity to be up 3-2 at home with a chance to close out the defending champs who now don't have their best player. And I know they have played well without Tatum. I just don't think what they're going to get last night from guys like Cornette and White and Brunson being called for 5 fouls in a quarter and the refs completely zapping all momentum from that game. I think the Knicks bounce back tomorrow night. Knicks in 6. Bing bong. Speaking of the Knicks, our top prize in this week's Asmaniac raffle is a signed Jalen Brunson jersey. I will mail it to you. It includes the certificate of authentication, and you can frame it and put it in the man cave. Prize number 2 is a signed Aaron Glenn throwback jersey. Prize number 3 is a signed Curtis Martin Hall of Fame inscription jersey. And ladies and gentlemen, I've added a 4th prize, a signed C.J. Mosley jersey. So, if you want any of those prizes, gift a membership to be entered in the raffle. And if you send in a $10 super chat or more, you can enter the raffle as well. 2 entries for $10, 5 for $20, 10 for $50. And it helps support the channel. So thank you all for your support and allowing us to do what we do. All right, I'm going to get to your calls coming up here on the Gusbuster Hotline, talking Jets schedule, of course. And if you want to talk about the Knicks, you certainly can. We are presented today by House of Atlas. House of Atlas is my go-to razor, my go-to aftershave. They got awesome products. I'm a beard guy. I'm a mustache guy. The Atlas razor, it's awesome. Sleek design, easy to hold, maneuver with a nice weight to it. They sent me a navy blue one, which is awesome. I requested a green one for the Jets. The blade head has 5 U.S.-made stainless steel blades that glide right through my facial hair. High-performance serum strip that's infused with the ingredients like aloe, vitamin E, shea butter, which reduces the irritation and helps prevent ingrowns. Check it out. I can't recommend it enough. They're offering right now a 30% discount on their House of Atlas razor kit with my code. So it's pretty easy here, right? I'm going to put the code on the screen, and the code will be in the pinned comment. The code, it's my last name, Asman. So go to houseofatlas.com. You can check it out for yourself. Check out their razor kit. You won't regret it. All their products are awesome. Aftershave, you name it, they have it. The razors, can't recommend it enough. Houseofatlas.com. ASMANIAC.com. Promo code ASMAN at checkout and 30% off their razor kit, which is an awesome deal. It was 15% for my listeners. It's now 30% with that code at checkout. All right. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. We'll get to your calls as well. Smash the like button if you're tuning in. Dick Chimney's burner starts us off. Even if Rodgers is there for week 1, he never starts out great. So many early season slow starts, and he won't have full team chemistry yet. I agree. And by the way, the NFL did confirm what I was saying for months. Mike North, the head of scheduling, he said if Rodgers had committed to Pittsburgh, that game's in primetime. So, as I suspected. I think the Jets can win week 1. Am I banking on it? No. I'd be lying to you if I said I'm not nervous for the Jetsian-like thing to happen of Rodgers coming back and lining us up. But prove those people wrong. Like go out there and dominate Pittsburgh, man. AZ Frankie with a super chat. We could be good teams with a good O-line. Legit. You could remain in any game if you have a good defense and good O-line. You won't get blown out. And then if Fields takes a step and they actually coach him up the way they're talking about being able to do it, then who knows? We're asking a lot, though. We got to see it. That's my big thing. C with a super chat. I'm getting antsy. Pay Garrett and Sauce. I would. I absolutely would. I don't know. I don't know if they're planning on waiting till right before training camp to get this done. If this is something that's settled before the season starts, but I'd get it done. I would definitely get it done. Ladies and gentlemen, the first Asmaniac to get the channel membership today is Darth Crypto.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Pork of the morning is the recipient of the channel membership. Pork, make sure you thank Darth Crypto. All right, to your calls we go. On the Gusbuster hotline today, live from Italy, is Rob the Jet fan. Hello, Rob. How was the flight?
Hey, I made it, Jake. Shitty plane ride. It sucked. The plane ride was awful, but we made it here. We're jet lagged, but it's well worth it. This hotel is gorgeous. It's the Hotel Giordano. To give you like a little bit of sight lines there. Can you see that, Jake?
Yeah, it looks great.
There's a pool over there. There's a mountainside. And I'll give you a little bit of the view of the scusate. I'll give you a little side of the hotel over here that we're staying in.
Wearing the Jets green. We'd love to see it.
Yeah. You see that? I'm representing, Jake. Represented. It's raining right now. Unfortunately, it's raining. But what I will do is it's like a little bit further down. You got to see it's almost like a cliff siding, and you can see the water from Amalfi Coast. When the weather gets a little bit better, I'm going to take it down there so I can show all the Asmaniacs and stuff because it's truly beautiful here.
I love it, Rob. How long are you there for?
The 23rd.
Nice. Enjoy the trip, all right?
I'm going to go back to stay with some relatives, too, in my dad's hometown also. So, got to visit the relatives, do the whole thing. But I didn't see the beginning of the show, Jake. What are we looking at as far as the sneak schedule? Who are we supposed to be playing opening day?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
It is Pittsburgh. Oh, God.
It is.
You were right about that.
Pittsburgh,
Jeez.
Buffalo, Tampa, Miami, the first 4 weeks. And the plan's to go to Tampa for the road trip in week 3.
So much for an easy 3 schedule, huh? First 3 games, huh?
Not easy. But I look at the whole first half.
I would have loved it. Say it again?
Rob. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I would have loved it, Jake, if we started a little bit easier schedule against Cleveland or Carolina and got a win or 2 under our belts first and gained a little bit of confidence as opposed to, starting with Pittsburgh, hopefully, Rodgers is not hot and like dismantles us. And then we got Buffalo again. And what'd you say, Tampa Bay?
Tampa. Yep.
Oh God.
There you go.
Uh,
Rob,
How do you?
enjoy the trip, my man. There's a big delay, so I'm just going to move on there. But go back to the beginning of the show if you want my full thoughts on the schedule. Look, I wanted a softy week one, but there is an argument. Hey, if you're going to play a good team, like they're not a good team necessarily in week one. Week one could be a toss-up week. The Jets beat the Bills with Zach Wilson in week one 2 years ago. Like, things happen. And look, maybe Rodgers retires, and he's not in Pittsburgh yet. But if we're just looking at the schedule, when's the first time the Jets will be a favorite in a game? Probably home Carolina. Do I think the Jets are going to be winless going into week 7? No, I don't. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge shout out to Addison, who's the first to gift a 5 spot of channel memberships. Let's go, Addy. I also want to give some love to Addison because he sent me a Knicks version of my Jake Asmaniac show logo that I could use when I talk some Knicks. So give Addison all the credit. Look what he made here. How cool is this? Might put this on a hat so I can wear this when I'm talking Knicks as much as we are right now with the playoff run. Jay Brown checks in. Jake, what do you think about Membu versus TJ Watt? Well, if you remember last year, TJ Watt didn't kill them. Look, that's going to be a welcome to the NFL moment, though, for Armand Membu. He's going to have to play well. You can't let TJ Watt wreck the game. But, look, I mean, he's a great player. I'd say that, but that's certainly going to be something to watch. TJ Watt single-handedly can win games. He's one of the few. There are very few defensive players in the NFL that their dominance could actually win football games. It's why when you see like a key defensive player out, very rarely does it significantly move the point spread. TJ Watt's one of those players where it does. He's a great player. So you got to deal with that. Tyrone Garcia. A lot of 10 a.m. games, which I like. So I'm done by 1 and can enjoy the rest of my day. Go Knicks. Yeah, all the West Coast Jet fans, like you, Tyrone, like the great Rick Kent. You guys probably got to love the 1 o'clock games, right? Little breakfast in the Jets. Like the 9:30 kickoff, that's brutal for you guys because that's 6:30 on the West Coast. But for everyone on the East Coast, we get a little taste of what it's like to watch football on the West Coast. I think the best time for sports is the Central Time Zone, as someone who lived in Texas for 6 years. It's late enough where you don't feel like you're not going to be able to be free to watch the start of games. But the games still end early enough where you don't feel like you lose your whole night. That 1 hour really does make a difference. Sunday Night Football ending at 11 p.m. as opposed to close to midnight on the East Coast makes a huge difference. I forgot how big of a difference it was until this past year, as this was my first, full season back living in New York. So I personally think the Central Time Zone is the best, but I don't mind experiencing a little West Coast football. When we did our Vegas meetup at Circa for the Raiders game 2 seasons ago, we got posted up in the sports book all day, 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. games, right? Which is the 1 and the 4. And Sunday Night Football started at 5:20, which was crazy. So we're having breakfast food in the sports book. Shout out to Circa for hosting all of us in their private section. And we're having like breakfast items watching the games. Adam writes in breaking news, I caught a lobster today in the DR. Hey, shout out to Adam. Alan says 2-6 at the break could bury the Jets. They got to be better than 2-6 at the bye week. I don't say this often, but I agree with Alan here. The Jets play 8 games before the bye. Can they find a way to be 4-4? Right? I think that's what you're looking at. Can you go 4-4 into your bye and then down the stretch put yourself in position where you're playing meaningful games? 2-2 in September, 2-2 in October. The only game in the first 8 where I say, I don't think the Jets are winning, they have no chance to win, is not Buffalo. I hate playing Cincinnati at Cincinnati. That game scares me for some reason. I don't love that. I don't think it's an automatic L to any of the teams. Even Buffalo. They play Buffalo well at home. They do. Now, it's a new scheme for the Jets defensively, but it's a lot of the same players. If they're 4-4 at the bye, you feel like you have a chance to make something of your year. Now, are they going to do that? I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic here because people have said I'm too negative. Meanwhile, I don't try to be negative. I call it how it is. There's a lot of unknowns on this team. They answer some of those emphatically with a yes, then, yeah, we're in business. Ladies and gentlemen, who better than Bo C? He just gifted a 10 spot of channel memberships. Yeah.
Hey, go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Bo C in the raffle for 10. If you missed it, we announced that we added a CJ Mosley signed jersey to our list of prizes. Let's see who got the memberships here from Bo C. If you hear your name called, you thank Bo for gifting you your membership. Freak Turd, 99 Jet, Eric Bianchi, Aaron Quinas, NY in Atlanta, the Australian Jet fan. Australian Jet fan, where you been? You come to the draft party. We haven't heard from you since. Dub74, Tom D, Bryce Haddon, Evo DeNicholas, all receiving a channel membership. Get in the raffle today. Jalen Brunson signed jersey, Aaron Glenn signed jersey, Curtis Martin signed jersey, CJ Mosley, the captain, signed jersey. JYB with a super chat. I would love to see this coaching staff with the whole summer to game plan for the Steelers defense. Their game plan will be telling. Especially when you don't necessarily know who the quarterback of the Steelers is yet. Black Gypsy says, I'm doing the old Jake. I don't believe it at all this season. We're going to suck like Detroit did for at least a season. This Jets team has a lot more talent than that year one Lions team. This team is more comparable to Dan Campbell's second year in Detroit when they went 9-8 and just missed the playoffs on tiebreakers. The New York Jets, roster-wise, has so much more talent than the 2021 Detroit Lions do. Go look at the teams. That's why I have higher expectations than 3 wins. Predict the record right now, I'm probably going to say 6. But is there an upside to be better than that? For sure. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Gator says, let's hope that when Glenn has his first presser after a loss, he's angry with his players and not the folks asking questions. That would be refreshing. That'd be nice. Because if he's mad at people asking him questions, it's not going to work. The fan base will turn on him immediately. Like, we all love him pushing back on some of the silly questions the Jet beat reporters could ask at times. But if they're losing, no one's going to care. Black Gypsy says, LOL, anyone seeing this schedule saying we're going to be good or insane. First-year coach, quarterback that needs work, one of the youngest teams in the league. How'd Houston do it, though? Right? How'd they turn it around? How'd Washington turn it around? Had Minnesota turn it around? Had Tampa turn it around? Tampa never really even needed to turn it around. I mean, Brady's last year, they were 8-9, but they made the playoffs. Like, it could be done, man. Other teams do it. Had the 06 Jets do it. Look, this roster is not awful. It's not great, but it's not awful. There's talent in some key spots. Thunderlips writes in, just don't want the season to be over by Halloween. Let's hope not. That's why we have the road game meetup scheduled for week 3 and the home game group buy for week 7. Front loaded, baby. We will have a crap load of things going on that month. I'm expecting the Yankees and the Mets to both be in the playoffs, too. Bo with a super chat. Thank you, Bo. If we get past the first 3 games with wins, I strongly believe that the momentum will be enough to put us on a historical run. Watch and believe. 3-0? Where do I sign? When was the last time the Jets started 3-0? It had to have been 09 with Rex, right? 2010, they lost week 1, so no. 2011, they won week 1. I don't remember. They might have been 3-0 in 2011. They won on my birthday against Jacksonville that year. They kicked the crap out of them. Let's see. The Jets in 2011. No, they lost to the Raiders. That was such an awful game. And then they lost 3 straight. They were 2-3. They beat the Dolphins on a Monday night. I remember Revis had that pick against Brandon Marshall. And then I went to the game the next week. I remember I went with my uncle and my brother to that game. I believe it was October 23rd against the San Diego Chargers. It was a Sunday 1 o'clock kick. They won. And what I remember the most about that win was waiting to get into MetLife. Right behind me was CeCe Sabathia, right as he was about to opt out of his contract with the Yankees following the 2011 season, where he was just incredible in the playoffs. And I was like, you got to stay. And he was like, I plan on coming back. He couldn't have been nicer, too. That's what I remember the most about that game. That and Revis had like a great pick in that game, too. I think someone's got to look it up. I'm pretty sure Plaxico Burress in that game scored 3 touchdowns against the Chargers. I can't remember what I had for breakfast ever or what I did yesterday, but I can remember odd things like that. I'm pretty sure Plaxico had 3 touchdowns that day in that win. But anyway, that is the 2011 season. So point is, the Jets have not started 3-0 since 2009 with Rex. That'd be pretty sick. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line. Let's get to more of your calls right now. Scotty Mayhem is next. What's up, Scotty?
Jake, I know a lot of the Knicks fans are freaking out, but it's meant to be. Look, when we started this series, nobody, if they were being realistic, thought the Knicks were going to win this series. It would have been really, really difficult. But when they won with those 2 games where they came back from 20 points down, this team is resilient. This team's got heart. This team does not give up. And look, this is a championship team, the Celtics. They weren't going to lay down in game 5. So I'm okay with it. But I agree with you. Game 6 is key. I believe the Knicks are now ready to win. And if they win this series, it's going to be because of Detroit. Detroit got us prepared for this series. The Celtics are getting us ready for the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers are going to get us ready for a championship. This is the year we're going to win the championship. And Jet fans, take note. This is the kind of team we want. We want to be under the radar. This Jet team is a lot better than a lot of the experts think. And I think I think you nailed it in terms of the way the schedule is lined up. We never get any favors. I mean, we're playing against multiple playoff teams at the beginning of the year, but you know what? That's when you want to play these teams. I think the Jets are going to get out of the first, 9 weeks, 5-4, 4-5, totally set up. If you look at the back end of the schedule, to go on a playoff run. And like you said, play relevant games. I mean, I think this is a wild card team. I think Justin Fields is going to be amazing this year. I think that we're going to finally find our quarterback. So Knicks are going to win. Relax. In the famous words of Aaron Rodgers, we're okay. We're at home. They don't have Jason Tatum. Heartfelt, hope he gets better. But look at us last year, Jake. We had 4 of our starters out in the playoffs. Nobody cares. Just win the game. Move on. We're going to be playing Indiana, our nemesis, and we're going to beat them. We're going to beat them like we should have beat them last year, but for the injuries. So those are my thoughts.
Look, I love the positivity, Scotty. I'll address the Nick point first. I think the Knicks have proven they're up for this type of challenge. I just do. I'm very disappointed with how they played last night. I think the game just got away in that third quarter. The way it was officiated, just how incredibly hot the Celtics were from 3. White, what Cornette was doing. I think the Knicks will adjust and they'll be okay. I do think it could get tense, though, if they come out slow. Get out to a good start, and let's rally around the crowd. And I think Brunson's built to do it. I have confidence because I believe in Jalen Brunson. That's the biggest thing. We've never had a player like this in my lifetime. I believe he's going to have a huge game. He'll be the best player on the floor tomorrow night, and the Knicks are going to win because of it. I mean, this guy, when the Knicks have lost in the playoffs since he's been on the team, they are 9-3 after a loss. And this guy has had 9 30-plus point games. He responds. And I think if you just get one of OG and Bridges to bounce back, if not both of them, they're going to be okay. I do not think Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby are going to shoot a combined 5 for 26. I mean, OG was horrible. I don't think it was because he, maybe like tweaked a hamstring in the Game 4 win. I just think he was just off. He was just bad. And that's the problem with the Knicks at times. They don't handle prosperity well. They really need to be pushed. Every game is close. Knicks never get blowout wins. They never get to deal with the Timberwolves did last night to Golden State, or Boston has done to the Knicks twice in the series. They didn't blow out Detroit once. Every game was tight. They're equipped to handle it. I think the Celtics, without Tatum down the stretch in a tight game, I don't know if they are. I still like the Knicks' chances to win this series. I think they win tomorrow night, but I wouldn't say they can't win a Game 7 on the road. I'm just not going to go that far. We've seen too many crazy things happen already in these playoffs to feel that way. That said, I don't want to deal with Monday night. I want to win tomorrow, party on 7th Avenue, and gear up for Indiana on Wednesday, where you're going to have home court advantage in the series. That's the path. Now, as far as what Scotty was saying about the Jets, look, if you're going to play tough teams, there's an argument to be made. You do it early. Even Denver last year, right? We thought they sucked. Turns out they were a playoff team. So you don't know. If you're going to play good teams, play them early. Miami's not a team that you look at and go, we have no chance. Same with Tampa. Same with Pitt. And Buffalo early, at home, you have a history of playing them tight. Can you find a way to go 2-2? 2-2. And then all of a sudden, let's look at the next 4 games in October. Dallas, Denver, Carolina, Cincy. Can you go 2-2 again? Can you be 4-4 at the bye week? Is that asking for too much? It might be, because we don't know who the head coach is, what he is. We don't know who, we really don't know what the quarterback is. But if you want to be optimistic, I don't think it is implausible for that to happen. Would I bet on it? No, I got to be honest. I would not, because I have just been down this path too many times. But for those of you saying I'm too negative, there's a path to it. I'm not saying it's improbable. I'm not going to say there's no chance of it. That's crazy. That's the biggest thing, though. That's the path. 4-4 at the bye, and then look at the home stretch. Look at that schedule. Look at the home stretch. After they wrap up Cincinnati, the only road games they have over the final 6 weeks are New England and Baltimore. That's not a far travel. Now, I don't think they're going to beat Baltimore, but if you're going to play on the road Thursday night, at least you're in New England. It's a 40-minute flight. Last 6 games of the year, only one of them had a winning record last year, and that was the Bills, who probably don't need that game in Week 18. There's a path to it. I'm trying here, people. No one had the Vikings winning 14 games this past year. Could happen. In that division, too, by the way. The AFC East is not that great. Miami's okay. New England's okay. Buffalo's clearly the best team, but, usually you could split with division teams. Usually. We're not used to that as Jet fans, but, it has to change. That's what Aaron Glenn is up against. He has to change that. Zoink Nation with a super chat. Yo, chicken parm is pretty good. That's all I had to say. I agree. It's a great take.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
Love chicken parm. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Reminder to enter the Asmaniac raffle. We added another prize today, a signed C.J. Mosley jersey, plus a signed Curtis Martin jersey, plus a signed Aaron Glenn jersey, plus a Jalen Brunson jersey. It's just $5 to enter the raffle if you gift it 1 membership. Let's see. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Darth Jet. Hello, Darth Jet.
Hello, Jake. Unlike your caller from Italy, I don't want some soft ass team to start the year. If you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. So the bigger they are, the harder they will fall. I think this coach will get the best out of this team, and I'm looking forward to a competitive year.
Darth, what gives you the confidence?
Because I believe in our coach. That's all there is to it.
Okay.
I've been watching this show for a long time. I've been watching this show since back when Omar used to call.
Wow.
I've been with you the whole time, and this is our year. This is the time when things change. Like you said, nobody thought the Vikings or the Broncos would be good last year. This year, it's going to be the Jets. Jets, 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 Jets.
Ladies and gentlemen, Darth Jet. A great call from Darth. At any rate.
I'm Ricky, New York, and I love to smoke. Florida State, I really love Florida State. Jordan Travis, you know he's from Florida State. At any rate, I call into smoking debate. Florida State, I really love Florida State. At any rate, thanks for taking my call, Jake.
Oh, I accidentally hit that button. Not because I thought that last caller was Ricky and Wine. Hey, well done. Well done. Gator says he's here to smoke and be evil. All right, great call. Love that. The chat knew right away it was Ricky, too. I was following. That was great. Jay Brown says, can I get in the raffle? Hey, Jay, you want some good news? You're in for 5.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
I might have to voice a new raffle liner because since that video was made, we allowed super chats to get entered because a lot of people can't gift from the phone. So, Jay, you're in for 5. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline right now is a man who only sees 2 wins before the Jets bye week. Ladies and gentlemen, Black Gypsy's up next. Black Gypsy, why do you only see 2 wins? Why are you so negative, man? Huh? You want this team to be bad.
I do this year. I'm going to set I'm going to be realistic this year because last year and the year before, Aaron Rodgers, happy, total destruction. All right. I'm not going into this year being like, yay, we're going to be the best. That's nuts. As a fan, that's a fanatic. You're insane doing that. Now, we have the worst quarterback. We do in our division. We have the worst quarterback. Fields has not proven anything for anyone to be like he's going to win games.
Has Drake May proven anything?
I would take Drake May over Fields.
Well, just because you don't know what he is.
Exactly. I know what Fields is. I know what Fields is. Fields is, we're going to make him better. When has any QB come to the Jets that we have made better? History defines who we are in certain things. Our history sucks. You brought up examples like
Are you a Knicks fan?
I am. But we've been to the playoffs. I've seen us lose and understand why we lost.
So the Jets.
The Knicks are not the Nets. The Knicks are not the Jets.
The Knicks history, the last 25 years, is worse than the Jets history.
It has been. It has been.
Right. So, so look, I'm not going to sit here and blindly believe they're going to get it right. But what I'm simply saying is I don't think it's fair to use previous history and say, well, because of that, it can't ever change. The Lions history was an abomination before Dan Campbell got there, and look what he did.
The question I have is, why do people believe in Glenn? What has Glenn done for us to believe in Glenn? Because I keep on hearing people say we believe in Glenn. What has he done? Like his defenses have not been good.
I can't tell you what he's done as a head coach. He's never been a head coach before. I can tell you he comes from a background where he played for a bunch of really good coaches, coached under a bunch of really good coaches. You won't find a player on or off the record that has a negative thing to say about him. He has also a scouting background that make him even more qualified for the role he's in. Like, I'm not sitting here telling you he's going to be a great head coach. I refuse to say that because I've been down this path too many times, but I'm also not going to sit here and say he can't be a good coach. We don't know yet.
I have way too much evidence to say that we're going to suck than to say that we're going to be good.
Well,
That
if your take
schedule,
is the Jets are going to suck more times than not, you're going to end up being right because that's our history.
I mean,
But it
it's
has
just
to change.
factual though.
It has to
It has
change
to- and
eventually.
it would seem the way they did the schedule this year was fuck the Jets. Because
No.
it was. The beginning of our season, we're playing like 6 fucking playoff teams. Like, we're going to get our asses handed to us.
You're
Those
playing.
teams
Yeah, look, Tampa's a good team. They also played in the worst division in the league last year. Their record is a
Tampa's
little
better
bit
than us.
inflated. Of course
Tampa's
they are.
better than us.
I'm not saying they're not, but I'm saying it's a year-to-year league, Black Gypsy, and just I don't think this team is as bad as you think they're going to be. I don't think they're a playoff team right now, but I don't think they're only going to have 2 wins at the bye week. I don't think they're going to be 2-6 at the bye.
Tell me the wins that you see in that first half of the schedule.
I
see
think
Miami, Carolina. That's it.
Miami, Carolina. I think they could win Denver too.
Sean Payton, Hall of Fame coach, Aaron Glenn. Like, the only team that you have an example of that did this is Houston. Minnesota has a great head coach. Like, whether Sam Darnold is good.
But all these guys were first-time head coaches at some point. Now, look, I agree with you as far as like talking about the coaching and the experience. You're talking to a guy who wanted a guy with a previous head coaching experience. So I'm not trying to say you're crazy for feeling the way you do, because you're not. I just feel like we can't use the Jets' own history necessarily against them in the evaluations. My point. We have to at least be fair and give them a chance to prove they're incompetent before we say they're incompetent.
The only positive thing that I've seen is the offensive line. Like, for the first time, we have a semi-okay offensive line.
And a good running back room. They should be able to run the ball, man.
We should. We should. So the second half of the season is more feasible for us to get some wins. But that first half, it stuck it to us. We always get it stuck it to us. By our record last year, we should have had a way easier season to begin the year this year.
Well, we were the worst coach team in football last year.
Like, I saw the schedule and automatically I was infuriated. I was like, come on, man. Like,
I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's as bad as you think it is.
Buffalo's going to give it to us. Buffalo's going to give it to us.
Are they, though?
I think so. Week
2? They're going to be a well-oiled machine week 2?
Last year,
the Eagles were 2-2 last year.
Last year, he played the best he's played as a quarterback. He's becoming a better quarterback. So this year, I don't expect him to decline and become a worse quarterback.
I don't think he's going to suck, but I also don't think it means the Jets are just going to get dominated. They're at home. It's early in the year. The fan base is still going to be alive. Pittsburgh week 1. We don't know if Rodgers is going there for sure. And they do typically start, or he does typically start slow. People have made that point. I think there's a path to be 2-2 after the first 4 weeks.
I don't see it. I hope so. I do not believe until I see what this coach can do.
I get it. Look, if that's how you want to feel, I get it. Pardon me. Like, I'm an optimist by nature, which is why I laugh when people say I'm negative, because I'm not. Like, that's how you know I've been really damaged by this team if I'm not trying to find the positives.
From those last 2 years, bro. Like, all the years that we've been Jets fan, the last 2 years really, really hurt my feelings. That's to put it out there.
How do you think I feel,
man?
I make my living talking about this every day.
So now to go through this whole thing again, everybody's like, yeah. I'm like, it's cool to be optimistic, but I want realistic expectations. For a first-year coach, I expect him to lose. Like, if he doesn't lose, amazing, wonderful. We're under the radar. We're going to do something. But for us to expect us to be a good team by everything that we've seen happen, nah, that's Delulu.
What about a mediocre team? Because that's kind of where I'm at.
Mediocre and under. Mediocre is the bar for us this year. If we actually make mediocre, I'll be happy. Because it's the first year head coach.
I think they could do it. Also, Jay Brown in the raffle for 5 more, but I'll skip ahead to this super chat. He says, Black Gypsy, I love you, but stop the negativity.
Hey, listen, normally I'm not negative. Normally I'm there talking like, yeah, we could do it. We could do it. But yeah, after the 2 years of Aaron Rodgers, bro, I have the right to be negative.
You do. Of course you do.
After years of being a Jets fan and not being negative, just taking it like, hey, we're going to suck this year, but I love watching my team. But for people in the chat, I said, mad people in the chat, like, we're going to be 12-5. I'm like, yeah, where are you coming up with these numbers from? That pisses me off.
And I laugh at people that have said that. I'm like, come on now. They've won 12 games once in their history. They're going to do it this year. Like, I hope you're right. Believe me.
And what pissed me off the most was I had to agree with Alan. Like, Alan made an actual point where I was like, I want to stab myself in the face. Alan said something.
Alan. I know.
But like, I feel him like, but I hope to everyone, I'm not being negative. I'm just being realistic. I hope we're a great team this year. I hope we exceed expectations, but I don't believe. I need to see something to make me believe. Like Glenn punch a ref in the face, or he needs to do something for me to be like, I'm on board with you, bro. Like right now, it's all talk, and talk is great. Off season, we are the greatest team ever. We are the number one team in the off season.
Yeah, but this year it's been the opposite.
Yeah, everyone's shitting on it. So maybe that might help us have some like a rock on our shoulder. But like, yeah, we're gonna do something. Let's do something. But I don't feel happy with Fields as my QB. Like if it's somebody else, Fields' upside is maybe we can win a close game if he runs the ball. But if it comes down to him throwing the ball, I don't see a difference with him and Zach Wilson.
No, come on. That's crazy. Justin Fields was 4-2 last year, and he ran for 1,100 yards in a season a few years ago. Come on.
That was 2 seasons ago, and that wasn't with the Jets. Every quarterback that's good in another team that comes to the Jets does not do well. The only person is Fitzpatrick is the only guy we can be like, yeah, Fitzpatrick came through a little bit.
Josh McCown gave us a great year too before he got hurt.
Yeah, and then got hurt. So like that's what
he got hurt. He got hurt. That roster was horrible. They were tanking for Sam. Remember that was suck for Sam. Yeah, they were 5-8, and then he got hurt. They finished 5-11.
Like, what happens if Justin Fields goes down?
Tyrod Taylor comes in, and then hopefully he stays healthy. And then
Fields, he stays healthy.
Yeah, and then hopefully Fields is healthy by the time Tyrod gets hurt. I mean, but you're painting the worst case scenario. Like you're being
because every year we go through a worst case scenario with our team. Our offensive line gets demolished, QB gets hurt, running back gets hurt. Like it's gonna happen to us. So we need to be at least like just a little bit like, yo, we could suck.
We're due, man.
As a first-year head coach, I think he's gonna suck. I think next year after figuring it out, he might be better. But for us, 12-5, I don't know who it was yesterday. That's
12-5. Yeah, the guy Ryan, who was very upset. We didn't let him do the win game with 12-5.
Pissed me off. I'm like 12-5. You're insane.
How about 8-9? Is that crazy talk?
That's what my number is for the year for us being good. 8-9, 9-8.
And while I wouldn't predict it, Black Gypsy, I think there's a path to it. Is my point this morning breaking down the schedule.
In the second half of this in the schedule, yes, I believe we can pick up those games.
So survive the first half. Remember, the Jets with Zach Wilson a couple of years ago were 4-3 through the first 7 games, and then they fell apart. Maybe if they could start 4-4, but they're better coached, unlike Saleh, who never ever had this team ready to play in the second half of the season. They got worse, not better. Maybe we actually could be like the Denver of last year, where we didn't think they were good, but then they kept winning games and proved, hey, good coaching, competent quarterback play. You could turn it around fast. Like that's what you have to try and do.
I'm set at 2-6, and then the second half of the season, my hope goes up.
So what's the final record then? What do you smell right now?
8-9. I just smell 8-9.
That's not bad. 8-9's not bad. I would sign for 8-9. I don't think they're going to win 8 games. I would take 8-9.
So would I. That's my highest, like for our team at the moment, and maybe somehow sneak into because our division sucks.
Well, 8-9, you're not going to get to the playoffs. You're going to have to go at least 9-8 on tiebreakers.
Let's hope. You never know. Let's hope.
There you go. That's positive. You actually sound more negative than your actual outlook on the season. Because if you think they're going to go 8-9, that's higher than some.
That's higher than Saleh's ever gotten to. So, like, I'm giving
higher than a lot of fans think.
And the only reason why I'm saying that we can win some games is because Fields can run the ball. I do not believe in his arm at all. Zero belief in his arm. But I know he can run the ball for those first downs, which we have not been able to do for years to get first downs. So we can extend drives a little bit more.
Black Gypsy, I have some news for you. We haven't had to do this in a while, but man, we'll redo.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
I'm just disappointed, my man. First off, there's 6 wins right on the calendar. There's 6 wins.
Explain to me the wins that you see in the first half of the season.
Well, first off, I gotta understand your Drake May comment. Let's just get that out. Let's get that out of the way. What is it? What is that? Why would you believe in Drake May?
Because he has Ben Roethlisberger vibes. He's a big, tough dude that can go. I've watched Justin Fields play. He's not good. Anyone that says he's good is lying to themselves. He's not good.
Okay, so he took a
You say
team to
whatever.
4 wins last year and then got replaced because they were going
Why
to
did he
do it no
get
matter.
replaced? Everyone
Because they
skips
were going to
over
do
that
it no
point.
matter. They were
A
doing it no
coach,
matter. You have to
look,
understand
a
that.
coach looked at him after 4 wins and said, "I don't want you to be my starter." You have to take that into effect. Otherwise, we're being fanatics. You're being insane
What
to be
about
like the
this year?
coach. I
What
don't
about
know.
this year? You know they
I
bid
don't know.
in for him, right? And he chose the Jets. They could have
Yeah.
retained him. He chose
Yeah.
the Jets.
They bid him for a backup to play the same role that he played last year.
No, that's not what they bid on him for. They
Yeah,
wanted to
bro.
be a starter, and now
Man,
their
look,
fallback
look.
option is our old news. You see the
We can
difference?
tell
Listen, let
ourselves
me tell you
any
something real
truths
quick.
we want to tell ourselves, but facts are facts. Justin Fields is a mediocre to bad quarterback. Is that not fact?
That's not a fact. So last year, let me hold
1
on. Let
year.
me give you this. Who would you take right now? Who would you take right now? Caleb Williams or him?
I'll take Caleb.
And then who would you take, Stroud or him?
Stroud.
Do you know by the end of the year, between QBR and everything, they had the same exact numbers, all 3 quarterbacks, Justin Fields?
That's nice. He played 6 games.
With better legs. He's a better runner. And he's
yeah,
a better runner. He's a better athlete.
That's the only. Now, if you're going to speak about Justin Fields, speak about his positives. He can run the ball. He cannot throw the ball. As a Jets fan,
Yes, he
we've
can throw
watched
the ball,
quarterbacks.
bro.
He cannot, bro. He cannot hit a straight line for a tight end pass. And we're getting him a tight
Are you
end,
kidding?
which he's going to miss
He
all the
ate up the
time.
tight end. That's all he did was hit tight ends last year. Were you
All
watching
right,
games? You weren't. Yeah,
I was
Quincy,
watching the
I
game.
understand you're scorned. You're very burned. You're a burnt,
I
scorned
am.
veteran. I
I'm
get it.
super
We are.
burned. I'm super scoring,
You
bro.
can't do that, bro. You can't do that. There's 6
Look,
wins
the
easily
only
on
path I see
the
him
record.
being good is if we copy Philly's offense. And we did exactly what Hurts did last year. That's the only way. And we're not going to do that. We never copy something good as an overall team. Yes, everything
We
has to
just
go
brought
into
in a
line.
new offensive scheme, my guy. You're
Yeah,
scoring way too far, bro.
from who? From somebody that we have no
It's
idea
bad.
about. So because it's a new person, you're automatically like, yeah, we're going to be good, instead of we're not going to be good, because averagely when a new coach comes in with a new system, they're not good.
And you killed me when you said, "Oh yeah, our offensive line is probably the only thing that's the only thing you need to get going on an offense to begin with is the offensive line." Jared
If they
Goff
stay
was
healthy.
able to just place balls where he needed to because he was able to stand in the pocket. Do you think just people at
Justin
all?
Fields is not going to stand in the pocket. He gets scared and he runs.
Oh
Watch
man,
if you're
no, he
telling me to
doesn't,
watch
bro.
the games, he runs whenever he can. He
No.
goes one look, 2 look. If we're lucky, if we get the second look, and he runs the ball. That's what he does. That's what he is made for. That's what he's always done. So now everyone's
Yeah,
going to
man,
tell me
you're too strong,
Justin
bro.
Fields is Hurts and what's the name from? He's not those guys, bro. He cannot throw the ball. He's not proved that he can
Yeah,
throw the ball.
they said the same thing about Fields at one point, and what happened? I mean, not Fields, about Hurts. Listen, let me ask you this last question, and I'll leave you alone after this. So, how many wins do you think is the worst outcome? If your outcome you're saying is 8, which is like better
Our
than what
best.
we've had for 3 years in a row, is your
Eight
best.
is our best.
So,
8 is
what's
our
your
best.
worst? What's your worst?
4.
What do you think we do? 4?
4.
Bro, first off, if they just split Miami and New England, there's 2. They're gonna beat the Panthers, and then they're going to
You
beat the
don't
Jaguars.
know
That's
that they're going to
4.
beat the Panthers. The
Yes,
Panthers
they
got
are,
good at the
man.
end of
Come
the
on,
year
man.
last year. See, look,
It's not happening, dude.
our team last year, by stats, Aaron Rodgers put up good numbers to get us where we were, right? You want to put the numbers into play. Carolina, at the end of the season, played really good games. The quarterback got better. The defense got better. So us just walking past Carolina this year and be like, they're going to suck, is disrespectful to them. Like, I think we can beat Miami. I think we can beat Carolina, but I don't think we can beat Buffalo right away. I don't think we can beat Pittsburgh right
They
away.
tooled the defense for the Panthers. You know that, right?
Yeah. Yes,
They're not doing better, bro.
that
I
was my
live in
reason for
Carolina. They're
saying
not
that we
doing
can get
better. It's not. They didn't make a bonus.
that's my reason for
So
saying
we
that we
could
can
beat
win too.
Atlanta. Atlanta couldn't even walk. Listen, Atlanta couldn't even walk through their own division without getting burned. We
All right.
can beat Atlanta. That's how I feel like.
How?
Dude, you gotta.
Why do you believe so much? Like, give me the reason why you believe so much.
Because we retooled with veterans that are on the up. So we didn't do what JD did. We didn't grab old, washed veterans. You realize that, right? We didn't go and grab Quentin Jefferson who's 30. We didn't go ahead, we released JFM and ruin everything. We brought in Derek Nottie, who's ready to go up. Okay? Who's a great player. Weaver ascending out of the Titans on the edge. To match with JJ.
Weaver's okay. Weaver's okay. He's not. He had one good season.
So my question is, what everybody's getting confused is, we're not expecting Rashad Weaver to come in and get 10 sacks. If he just gets 5, it's a great season.
With the same expectation that you're not expecting him to be top is the same expectation I have for the Jets with a first-year head coach. I'm not expecting us to play great football with a first-year head coach. Like Dan Campbell,
man, come on.
Dan Campbell, who was a coach, went to a team, and it took him a while to get that team to where it is. Like for us to be like Aaron Glenn is going to come in, for Aaron Glenn is going to come in his first year, and we're going to be a positive winning team. It's asinine.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
That was a good rumble. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. Black Gypsy, you're an elite caller. We need more of you. Anytime he called, the reason why he was a 16th seed is because he doesn't call in enough. But every time he does, he either makes great points, goes back and forth with someone, incites a rumble. I love it. I think I'm somewhere in the middle between Philly and Black Gypsy. I'm not as negative as Black Gypsy. I see a path for this team to be decent. I'm also a realist in that they're probably a 6-win team. But they could be better. There's hope. If they signed any other quarterback, I wouldn't feel that way. There's upside with Fields. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Brown, I got you in the raffle again for 5. So you're up to 15 raffles, Jay Brown. You have 3 $20 super chats. Jets Carpetbagger says, if Tua goes down, Miami has the worst quarterback. Agreed. Ricky, NY, I mean Darth Jet, in the raffle for 1.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Jets Carpetbagger with a super chat. Bills drafted lots on the defensive side. They'll need time to gel as a group. Jets have an opportunity to beat the Bills early. It's a fair point. But the Bills have Josh Allen, who was the MVP of the league. I wouldn't bank on a win. But the Jets beat the Bills with Zach Wilson at quarterback as 13.5-point underdogs in 2022. And because of that win, that's why we drink Hennessy on the show, because Henny Heisman said, you're slugging Henny when we win. And I said, bullshit, but deal. And I won. So it could happen. Jorge with a super chat. Getting tired of hearing people trying to tell fans not to be negative. It's only been 14 effing years. We've sucked. Need to see wins to believe. I get it. People don't like to have negativity thrown in their face, though. I try to keep it real. I only say things on the show I believe. Or I only play things from others on the show that I fully endorse.
Fuck you, Alan.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in several days, we check in right now with this guy.
Plants are trying to kill me, so I think I'll eat a stick of butter.
Several days. I didn't call him for a day or two.
You were missed.
Was I missed?
Well, did you hear Dave Briga's rant on you yesterday?
I didn't. I was out of pocket like all day. I was completely like I was not around. I didn't get to check out either show yesterday. No offense. Yeah.
No offense taken, but you might be offended by what Dave Briga was saying.
I don't. There's many things in life I care about. What Dave Bricker says about anything is certainly not one of them.
I don't know. If you heard what he said, your tune might be a little different.
I'm really not going to care what Dave Bricker says.
When are you coming back to my Discord, by the way?
I don't want to do this on there. I don't think I'm coming back to the Discord, bro. I'm still on Patreon. I'm still supporting you.
No, you could come back anytime you want, Gary. I miss you.
Okay. It's a toxic place to be, but I appreciate it.
I actually don't think it's that toxic. I think it's a great place to be.
All right. Yeah, it is. The guys watch, I like support Jake. It's good. It's good.
Why did you leave the Discord?
When someone asked me for oral sex, it was kind of enough. I'm like, all right,
wait, I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah, this is.
Wait, I don't think that you're definitely taking something out of it. Someone probably said SMID when they were going in on you about.
Is that not asking for oral sex?
Is that how you're gonna? I knew it. I didn't even see it, but I had a feeling that's what the spin was gonna be.
How else would you take that? If someone said that to your chick, how would you take that?
Gary, are you really going to be Captain Literal, man? People say,
maybe I'm just too literal to live in this world. I feel
you
that
are.
sometimes.
I think you are.
Maybe. I might be. Yeah.
Your new nickname is Gary Semantics.
Well, semantics means meaning. So words have meaning. So yeah, I don't understand how semantics, like that's semantics. What that means meaning. Semantics means the meaning of words. Yeah. Like words mean things.
Like achievement and believing in it.
I'm with you, John. I just might be too literal to live amongst normal people. I'm granting you that.
Captain Literal, man.
I'm absolutely granting you that.
What else?
Knicks will be all right. Knicks will be all right. They'll win Game 6. I was expecting them to blow Boston out yesterday by like 30.
I didn't think they were going to win yesterday. I thought it'd be close though, but because I thought they would have learned from Game 3. You see this in sports a lot. Like people need to take a step back.
Golden State, where it's like they just got punched in the mouth and they gave up. I thought that's what was Boston was.
Yeah, but think about it. Golden State lost Curry. They had that next game. They had it, and they blew it late. And
yeah.
But that was their best chance. I think, like you saw Boston give their best chance last night, not lose at home. Hey, we're the defending champs. We're going out. If we're losing, we're not losing at home. I think what they got from White and Cornette was incredible. I don't know game to game if that's sustainable. I think the Knicks will play a lot better, and I don't think the Celtics, how well they played last night, they're going to be able to maintain for another 48 minutes. I think the Knicks find a way. I'm just, if they lose Game 6, I'll be nervous, but I think they're going to win tomorrow night.
I would, if I was making a book. It was my book. I would put the Knicks at like minus 350 to win Game 6. They're going to win Game 6. They're going to win Game 6.
They're only a couple point favorite for what it's worth.
It might be by 2. They're not going to lose Game 6. If they do, I would still probably pick them to win Game 7. But it's going to get hairy. Like, but I know Boston's got good players on paper, but you take Tatum out of that lineup, it just looks like a bunch of players. It looks like a bunch of guys, right? Like, I like Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's really, really good. But, like, he doesn't create offense for others, right? He's not like a premier rebounder or a playmaker. Like, he's just a guy who can score a lot of points. And, like, maybe he can get 40. If not, he's not giving you a whole lot. Like, Tatum is really the engine that makes that whole thing go. And now he's gone. It's like, they're not going to win 3 in a row against a team that just beat them 3 out of 4. Like, I would be very surprised if the Knicks did not win Game 6. But I was surprised they didn't win Game 5. They were definitely going to win yesterday. The Jets schedule. They're going to win more than 2 games before the bye. But if they don't, I'm okay with that. As long as one of the wins is against Dallas. I've been here with Texas, right? It's like the Herman years and the strong years. Like they're not going to be very good, but just beat Oklahoma. Just beat Dallas. Like if you're 1-7 at the break, all right, that one win just better be against Dallas. That's all I can say. I don't expect us to make the playoffs this year, although I think 7-8 wins is probably about right. I don't want to say 7-10 again, but 7-10 is kind of my inkling. I'll go 8-9 just to be optimistic. But that Dallas game, that better be one of the wins. If it's the only win.
Have Cowboys fans ever said "S my D" to you?
I really hate Cowboy fans, Jake. I don't know. They talk to you like they're Patriot fans. Like, we've been to 3 AFC championship games since you've been to 1 NFC championship game. Like, you can't talk to me like this. Cowboys have been horrible for 30 years. Terrible. I hate Cowboy fans, Jake. And what's so weird about it is a lot of them are Longhorn fans. So we're friends on Saturdays. And then Sundays, they turn into like social rejects, like delusional morons. I hate Cowboy fans.
Boomtown says, now I'm wondering, did Bobby really want Jay Quest to go fly a kite that one day? Yeah, if words have meaning, Gary, do you think that Bobby Midnight was telling Jay Quest to actually go fly a kite?
I don't. Did he tell? Is that the day that Jay Quest humped him and knocked him over? Or what? Why did he tell Jay Quest to go fly a kite?
I mean, he's always mad at Jay Quest over something.
Jay Quest is a good dude. Like, what is there to be mad about Jay Quest?
Well, answer the question here. If words have meaning, is that what Bobby was saying?
I don't know. I don't know the context.
Because I think someone saying "S my D" in a sports argument, I don't think was actually asking
what else
for
could
you
that
to
mean, Jay?
provide
like,
oral sex.
Go fly a kite means
go fly a kite.
S my D, which you wouldn't even say out loud on your show, right? What else could that possibly mean? Like,
it means go bleep yourself. It's another way of saying go bleep yourself. S my D, man. Kiss my ass. You ever heard that one?
I've never asked another man to do that.
Kiss
nor
my
will I
ass. You never
ever.
said kiss my ass to someone? You don't actually want someone to kiss your ass.
I don't think I have, but I wouldn't like that.
Have you heard the
first
expression before? Kiss
the
my
S
ass?
I've heard it before, Jay.
Okay.
Actually, have I ever said it? I don't think I have. It's not something I would. I'll just match your energy. But once you start, requesting oral sex, I'm just y'all party too
I've
hard
heard
for me.
women
I'm
say
out. I'm out.
SMID. I've heard
What was
women
that?
use that. I've heard women use the term SMD.
There's a classy broad.
So what do you think that means, though? But based on your interpretation, she's not actually a broad. She's actually.
I ain't looking to find out either. By the way,
they, them, or
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not looking to find out, Jake. I'm gonna leave that situation. If the broad ever tells you that, here's a word of advice: don't marry that chick. There's a good piece of advice for you. Don't marry that chick.
Broad chick. The way you describe women, unbelievable.
You've never called a broad a chick.
No, I refer to them as ladies, or as Charles Gorman would say, lovely ladies.
Chicks are universal. Ladies are,
and they dig the long ball.
They do dig the long ball. Chicks dig the long ball. They're all chicks. Some are ladies, and some are 304s. And we don't love them hoes. Snoop said that in '94.
Speaking of lovely ladies, saw Jenergy last night at the watch party. Knicks in 6. Let's go.
That's
Jenergy.
a lovely lady. Jenergy is good people.
She's awesome.
She's good people. Jenergy is good people. The 4%ers here are generally good people.
Yeah, most of them.
Yeah. The one, yeah. Jenergy, good people. Mimosa, good people. Queen, good people. Jay Graves is fantastic. That's the homegirl. She's good people.
Legend.
It's good people. Legend, yeah. The schedule, like, why can't we beat Pittsburgh week 1? Like, why is that like an unreasonable ask? Pittsburgh will probably go 9-8 this year, so that means they're going to lose 8 games because they go 9-8 every year. Why can't we be one of the 8 teams that beat them? Why, like, they don't even have a quarterback. Like, why is that out of the question?
You're preaching to the choir. Would I pick the Jets? No, but I don't think it's possible they win.
All right. I like, you have them in what, 7, 6, 7? What'd you like? What's your prediction?
They're around
not
6.
best case, like your realistic prediction.
Best case, I think they could be 9-8, maybe 10-7 if all goes right. Worst case, they're probably a 4-win team. And right now I'm probably between 5 or 6 wins.
Okay, it's a little lower than I thought.
Maybe 7. Because the last game
7
might not mean anything. So you could see the Jets winning that last game. And
I just don't think they're that bad of a team. I don't think they're that good of a team. That's why I'm only saying 7 or 8. But a 4-win team, that's like the Giants, bro. That's the Panthers. That's really bad. Like,
correct.
4-win team is really, really bad. Like, I just don't like. There's still talent on this team. I think 7 or 8. If I'm wrong and Glenn's a great head coach, which maybe he is, I can see 9 or 10's a lot. I think anywhere between 7 and 9. I think you're going to be around 500. Like, that's kind of where you're at. I don't see him being much better than that or being much worse than that.
if the Jets do somehow win, let's say, 10 games, will you gift Ryan a vacuum? Because Ryan is steadfast in the belief that this team is going to be a 12-win team even.
Why does it need a vacuum, though?
I thought that's your official gift to give the people.
It's my gift for my wife because she's the keeper of the house. It's practical for her.
Okay, so only your wife gets a vacuum. Got it.
For me? Yeah. If you want a vacuum,
I'd take a new vacuum.
She becomes somebody's wife, and they can get you a vacuum.
You think my wife would buy me a vacuum?
Well, you should buy your wife a vacuum.
I want you to buy me a vacuum.
Why am I buying you a vacuum?
Well, I'll refund you your Patreon money for the year, and you buy me a vacuum.
I want you to have the Patreon money. I want you to have the YouTube membership money. I want you to have that money. I'm just confused on why. You're a grown man. I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
If you said, Gary, I brought you a vacuum, I guess I would say thank you, but I'd have some questions on why you bought. Are you trying to tell me something? Why did you buy me this vacuum? I would say thank you. It's a nice thought, I suppose. But why are you buying me a vacuum?
I just enjoy throwing random scenarios at you, Gary, and hearing how you respond to them. I think the chat enjoys it too.
All right. No, I don't think if the Jets win 10. Here, I'll do this. If the Jets win the division, I'll buy you a vacuum, Jake.
All right.
All right.
Hell yeah.
That's a fine investment. I can get. I'm not buying you the vacuum I got my wife. That was expensive. But I'll buy you a vacuum.
Gary, thank you for the time.
All right. Thank you.
Joe Douglas should have been fired 2 days before he was hired.
Smash the like button. A vacuum could be on its way. The Jets don't suck this year. Ricky says, we need a smoking debate t-shirt in the merch store. Ricky, if you design it, I'll throw it on the t-shirt. I still got to make the Brigham University shirts. I've been so busy. But eventually I'm going to sit down and throw those up and let people buy them if they want them. I'm going to make them for as cheap as I can make them where I'm not losing money producing them. So we'll do some fun shirts like that for the diehards. Jets Carpetbagger says, I believe because I love my team and it's my duty. Carpetbagger, we appreciate you. Jay Brown with a super chat. He's in the raffle for 5 with this one. Love it. Can we do a poll on who's going to the home opener? Also, are you doing anything for the home opener, Jake? Lastly, where does everyone buy their tickets? I think people buy their tickets from all over. I've asked this question before. Am I going to the home opener? I don't know yet. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it with my schedule yet. The games I'm definitely going to. Tampa on the road, Carolina at home, because I'm going to make sure I take off from work if I have conflicting radio conflicts so I can be at those games. There's a chance I'm hosting on ESPN New York every Sunday morning, which will make getting to a 1 o'clock game difficult. So by the time I get off, I would have to just go right to the game, and I like to tailgate and meet listeners beforehand. So I got to see. But I don't have any official updates on that. But I will let you know. If I do go, I always invite people to L5 where I tailgate. They do the jersey burn 90 minutes before kickoff. If you made it to the home opener last year against New England, it was a party, man. God, was that fun. Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line. We got an OG, a legend on the line. I'm going to save him for a minute because I think we might have a new caller here. Julio, are you there? I guess not. Call back, Julio. We'll take your call. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Gusbuster hotline right now is one of the finest attorneys in New York City.
The only thing better than Alden shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
Jake, my brother.
Mr. Bonesy, how are you?
I'm good, man. Just letting my dog out to pee. Chilling. Rex is doing good. You know how it is. So quick Knicks take. Last night hurt, but there's no way they're going to be shooting at this percentage again. I mean, it didn't matter who came into that game. They were what was the team shoot? It was above 50% easily. It was insane. So for them to match that again and for another 2 games, let alone home at the Garden, I think we're going to take this at the Garden. I got to believe it's meant to be. And Brunson getting fouled out. OG and Mikal didn't play well. So that's my Knicks take.
I think it was a combo of they played awful. The Celtics just had a lot of things kind of go their way that I don't know is necessarily sustainable. Like the 5 fouls on Brunson in the third, how well White shot, Cornette having 7 blocks. Like these are things I don't expect to happen again in a game 6 when the Knicks are now home. Like I think the Knicks will play a lot better, and that will be the biggest thing.
Agreed. Cornette, he was on our team. Why didn't we see that type?
Yeah, where was that when he was a Knick?
Right, ridiculous.
Now I do got to bring something up to you. So, Beastbreaker is very upset that there's this guy going around. I don't know which show this was on, but it was a different Jet show yesterday. A guy by the name of Guinea Pig Stew. Beast believes Guinea Pig Stew is Bobby Beasley. And Guinea Pig Stew is making fun of little Joey. So these are some screenshots here of the alleged Bobby Beasley in action under the alias Guinea Pig Stew. As Beastbreaker's lawyer, what are your thoughts on this?
We're going to have to take this into heavy consideration on what our lawsuits are looking like here. You do not, And I repeat, you do not talk about little Joey. You can say whatever you want about Beast, and he could defend himself. But not once you cross little Joey, attorney at law Mr. Bonesy is coming to get you. So,
also, I have a very important update that I'm going to show you here, Mr. Bonesy. But first, I have to cover up some very sensitive information I don't want to share with the public. So please bear with me here. But I promise you, it is something that is very important for you to see immediately. This was an email I received from Beast yesterday, and quite frankly, I need your response as Beast's attorney. It provides more information on the alleged Bobby Beasley attack. Once again, I believe I blurred out the names here. Let me just confirm that. Okay. So these were 2 emails I received from the Beast yesterday. Let me put it up on the screen. Bobby Beasley needs to be banned from the Jake Asman show. He's disrespectful to my guinea pig. He wants to boil little Joey and kill him. That's a sick man, Mr. Jake. I love my little Joey. I take care of him. Mr. Beasley needs to be banned. And same with Goon Squad. Apparently, Bobby Beasley's part of this Goon Squad. I also showed Connor. I guess that's Connor Long. So I guess this was the Connor Long show that Beast was commenting on. These pics about Bobby Beasley. He has to be banned from the Jake Asman show for life for saying he's going to cook little Joey. That's the last straw that broke the camel's back.
These are some heavy allegations here. I mean, we got to get to the bottom of who Guinea Pig Stew is. Do we have any computer geeks out there who could trace an IP address?
For more on this, for more background information, let's say hello for the first time today to our dear friend, live from the attic, Beastbreaker.
Right now, we're getting some gabagool. If you really want some gabagool, you got to come get the gabagool. Catch you later.
You see this? That's Uncle Furio. I know that's Bobby Beasley because anyone who could spot that from 3 or 4 miles away, I spotted it yesterday. Also, I got Doug Dusto sent me a message on through my Instagram, and you want to talk a hot hit in the gut? Oh, let me pull up you will listen to this. 30 seconds. This is the best part.
Bobby Beasley, I think you crossed the line. Talking about Jason's guinea pig in stew form and eating it, it's really disgusting. What kind of sick person takes someone's lovable, beautiful pet and puts them and boils them and eats them? You don't say that. You crossed the line, dude.
That says it all. Someone's going to be doing some major explaining. And I mean major explaining.
Hey,
you
Bonesy,
don't do that to me.
Do you think you should advise your client to maybe not beat anyone up with a baseball bat because then there could be a counter lawsuit?
Yeah, Beast, I think you should relax and you should just try to channel that Bobby Beasley is a pussy and he won't come back on the show. That's all you got to know, man. He's not showing his face. He's scared, bro. You don't got to worry about nothing.
Well,
I got you.
I put $50 on my card. If he attempts to show his face and make this false allegation, you know where he's going? As Jake once said, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but unfortunately, you know where you're going. Hit the hole, Jack. See ya.
Yeah.
That's how you do business, because let me just say this. Right here in this wallet right here, my US wallet, I got my Scarlet card ready to go. It's called Don't Think I Won't Do This. I will, because I got power of attorney to use this. It's called POA. I'm not the last man nobody steps in the fire with. Get in the fire with me, you'll be broken in pieces. And I won't make sure you don't get up. Not 1, not 2, not 3. No chance. No deal. No chance. No go.
Now, Beast, you mentioned you have an American wallet. What other countries of wallet do you have?
This is the only American wallet I have, and it says World War II. This used to be my grandfather's wallet. And now I'm gonna do something in honor of my grandfather because he and his brother were World War II veterans. And I'm gonna keep this for life. And I'm gonna keep it until the day I die. That's where it's gonna go. Now let's get game 6 on our minds. Game 6, we're gonna win, and we're gonna win big, and we're gonna win better. We're not gonna sit around and go, none of this. No twiddle your thumbs. Get up, get on the battlefield, fight, bleed, and fight. That's all you're gonna do. And you're gonna do, ha, 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 as I'm supposed to do, slam. Shut up and fight, shut up and bleed, and get ready for the war. Because come next Wednesday night, Indiana, your days are ticking. Tick, tick.
Hey, Beast, give us a Jalen Brunson crossover to fire us up for game 6 tomorrow.
Music, please. Let's party it up. Go New York, go New York, go New York, go.
God.
See ya.
Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go.
Yeah, obviously you have a lot to work on, Bonesy. But these allegations, if true, if that's Bobby Beasley behind that YouTube username, I mean, we got to do something about this.
Yeah, I was trying to tell Beast. I hope he's appreciating me as a lawyer because I've been doing this for free, and if he doesn't start paying me soon, and by paying I mean I need to see actual pictures of him taking care of little Joey the proper way. I need to see him. I need to see little Joey with his feet up, relaxing. I need to see him petting little Joey's belly. That's what I need from Beast. I can't believe I'm this deep, Jake. I can't believe where we've gotten.
You should see the emails I get from Beastbreaker every day.
I have to tell him my work schedule now because he calls me at the office.
Well, I mean, you are his attorney. How many wins for the Jets, Bonesy?
Oh God, I didn't even get to my Jets take. I forgot what I was going to say, but I'm not even worried about the schedule because we've demonstrated back-to-back years that we don't know nothing. 2 years ago, it was a daunting schedule. We were like we were at a winning schedule. We were beating the Eagles. And the next year, it's supposed to be an easy schedule, and we're losing to the Broncos in Minnesota. So it's like, I don't even care about who we play. I was really going to comment on Black Gypsy versus Philly. And unfortunately, deep down, what Black Gypsy is saying is how some of us real fans feel. Well, in terms of just not believing in Justin Fields, I have to see it. I do believe, because when is the last time a guy came out confident and like not arrogant, but on that line, it was like, Rex, we loved Rex. And before we knew anything about Rex, we wanted to run through a wall for him, right? And Glenn is giving out those vibes a little bit, not with his decisions, because I still don't believe in what we did with Rodgers and how we treated him. But I just feel like Glenn is giving us a reason to believe. He's talking shit. He's saying we're here. He's a confident guy, and that's great until we get to the field and he could prove it. Like, Rex proved it to me fairly quick. I believed in him, and his defense showed up right away. And, I just we saw it on the field with Rex. We saw the change immediately. And that's all we can wait for. I don't even want to get into who we could beat and who we can't, because once the season starts, we don't know who the hell's going to be good. Like, I'm not even going wins and losses. I'm still going on the precedent that Aaron Glenn is talking the heavy shit. And most people who talk heavy shit, they're not terrible. They're normally not like Gase bad, where it's just like a complete embarrassment. Because this would be a big embarrassment for him to do all these, changes and big decisions and put his balls on, and then us be really like unfunctionable bad, where it's like we're getting beat by more than 2 scores. Like, I don't see it if he's talking that heavy. So that's where I'm a little more positive now. But the Justin Fields stuff scares me. It really does. He is not a passer of the football. And Aaron Glenn is putting his name on Fields too. He's putting his confidence in Fields too, saying he's going to fix him. They're going to fix him. So he hasn't been with the right coach and So we got a lot to see from Aaron Glenn. So I really That's why I'm more positive than I was, a couple months ago.
Those are law books. Those are, yeah,
Those
definitely.
are law books. The best is Kyle Clifton. I wish you guys could have saw it live. Because I get in there, I'm like, Kyle Clifton! And my brother would scream downstairs, shut the F up! Shut up! Because he was like a real bad ball breaker. And I was just, just listening to the show. I'm always singing the song. So it was a behind the scenes that I wish I had on film because of how genuinely mad he was because I kept saying the Kyle Clifton song. Oh, God, Gator, I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's not just a shoe salesman. He's an attorney at law representing Beastbreaker against Bobby Beasley.
Are you an actual lawyer or what, man?
Yeah, I am a lawyer.
Hello, everybody. We're feeling good right now.
You get the fuck out.
All right, we're back here on the show, home stretch. Appreciate all of you tuned in. Super chat from Ricky. Can't believe he beat me in the round of 8. Gary, the greatest chauvinist on turf. Chevin. How do I pronounce this word here? It's above my pay grade. Gary, how do I pronounce this word? Are you on mute, Gary?
He's calling me a chauvinist.
Chauvinist.
He's
Okay,
a
thank you.
chauvinist. Yeah.
Gotcha. I'll come right back to you. Let's see. Ricky also follows up. It says, Gary, CVS has dish soap 50% off in case you have an anniversary coming up. Let's say hello to Gary now. Gary,
My
thoughts?
anniversary just passed. My anniversary was the 11th. It was like 4 days ago. It was Sunday. Ricky, come on. You're like, 5 minutes too late. But I appreciate that.
Bobby Beasley's lawyers in the chat. Fake lawyer. There's the fraud. Wow, has Beasley hired an attorney?
You think Bonesy's a fake lawyer?
I think that's what he's saying.
He's really expensive, but he's really good. I can't afford him. He's out of my pay grade. But Bonesy is he's top notch.
Oh, as in chauvinistic pig.
Chauvinistic.
Chauvinistic. Am I saying it right?
You've never heard that word before?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he's chauvinistic.
Okay.
It's a word people use to describe people who think like males or superior or women or lesser. That's the general context of the word.
Big fella says, Jake, we need an attorney for a Gator song. That would be a great mini Asmaniac Madness style tournament. Top Gator songs. Bracket style.
Cole Bonesy is at the top. And
we'll do random seating because I don't know how you. I guess
at my house once, and I was my parents' house. And I was playing the show once, and like 4 days later, my mom was walking around and saying, "It's hot, my balls will sweat. I'm Bobby."
There's so many. We could probably build a field of 68. This is great. If the committee wants to put seedings to this, we could do it, or we could just do like a random seed organizer and just let the chips fall. They may.
He's got some good ones.
Man. All right. Well, if you have nothing else to say to Ricky, I'll let you go.
I got nothing. But thank you, Ricky. I appreciate that. He wouldn't have known my anniversary was 4 days ago.
Happy anniversary, by the way.
My wife's birthday is coming up in a week from today.
Ooh, what are you going to get her?
Well, so now it's 50% off. Oh, so 50% off. Yes, clearly.
What are those things that you mop floors with? What are they called again?
A mop?
No. There's like a certain type of it that's like very popular. I have one too in my closet over here, but I can't.
Oh, Swifter?
Swifter, yeah.
We got a Swifter.
You got one?
Yeah, we got one.
All right. Well, enjoy.
All right. Thank you, Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gary.
You get the fuck out.
Tremendous. What a show, huh? Frankie V's coming on in the 4 p.m. hour. Eric says, Jake, I'm mop. I allow an audible laugh. The best callers, man. It's all caller driven. Like you can't script these personalities. There's only one. There's only one Gary. All right, I was gonna end the show, but Julio's called back in. It might be his first call because I don't recognize him. Let's see if we can get this to work. What's up, Julio?
Hey, Jake, how you doing today?
What's up, Julio? Are you a first-time caller?
Nah, I'll call you once in a blue moon.
Okay, well, welcome back.
Yeah. I want to talk about the schedule. I think the Jets could go 10-7. Could that be possible, really? Realistic?
I wouldn't bank on it. I don't think it's I don't think it's impossible.
Because I know Buffalo start off slow in the beginning of the season. Always. Especially when they play against us at home. So I'm looking at that as a win. And then I think we could beat Denver and London. I think we could, that first half, I think we could go 4-4 if it goes right.
I think 4-4 at the bye is what everyone right now should sign up for, because at least down the stretch, there's a path to take advantage of what appears to be a softer schedule, but we've been down this road before. We think the second half's easier. Turns out it's not. So who knows?
Yeah, I just see it kind of a little different. That's all. I'm more relaxed on it this year than any other year, because what I seen the Parcell kind of thing, and I don't know how Aaron Glenn gonna do it, but I can see us easily if it goes right. I can see us go 10-7 and still miss the playoff. We couldn't do the last couple of years.
10-7, I think, gets them in, Julio. I think 10-7, they're definitely in the playoffs.
So I just remember I told you this one. If they do go 10-7, I'll come back and I'll let you know. I'm a big Jet fan.
I love it, Julio.
And hopefully you'll be at the Miami game.
Hell yeah, Julio. Appreciate the call. Look, if you want a real season, I think 4-4 at the bye is what they have to do. They got to take advantage of the fact that some of the perceived good teams might not be good teams early in the year. Pitt might not be Pitt right away. Same with Buffalo. Tampa's winnable. Miami's winnable. But when we say winnable, you got to win them. You got to go at least 2-2. Then in October, 2-2. Beat Denver, beat Carolina. You could lose to Dallas. You could lose to Cincy. You're 2-2. Then 4-4 at the bye. Can you beat Cleveland? All right. You beat Cleveland. Say you lose to New England, short week. You're 5-5. Lose to Baltimore, you're 5-6. At 5-6, Atlanta, Miami, Jacksonville, New Orleans, New England, and maybe Buffalo, it doesn't matter. Can you go 9-8 if you're 5-6 for the home stretch? Late November into December, I think you can. There's your 8 or 9 wins right there. If they're better than we think, there's your 10 wins. There's a path to it. I'm not betting on it. If I'm betting my life on the Jets, are they winning more than 7 games? I probably wouldn't say that right now, but if you told me they did, I'm not going to sit here and say, how could that be? Like, I get it. Coaching matters, man. Glenn has to be a good coach, though. We don't know if he is or isn't. That's the show. Join the Patreon. I'm going to start working on the Tampa trip immediately. So I got a lot of work to do. But Tampa's confirmed Asmaniac road trip in September. Patreon.com/Jake Asmaniac Show. Going to reach out to hotels, see if we can get a group rate somewhere. If not, we'll definitely do something the night before the game. I'll have info on where we're going to tailgate. I think we're going to look to team up with Tailgate Joe for that one. If not, I know NY Jets Florida Ted, who lives in Tampa, sent me an email on some stuff, some ideas. So things are happening. And then I am talking with my ticketing rep from the Jets ASAP for the Carolina game. I'll have a link. People could buy their ticket, reserve your spot, and then we're going to be good to go. Shout out to Ryan. Just left his daughter's graduation, and he's a proud dad. Hell yeah. Ryan, congrats. Bo C at the buzzer. Super chat. I feel like we could have Tom Brady, Herschel Walker, and every member of the Steel Curtain, and last year's disappointment still wouldn't fade. Faith. Who's Tom Brady? Do I make you Randy, baby? I know what you mean. I'd take Tom Brady, though. It's probably better than Zach Wilson. Anyway, thank you all. We're back in a few short hours. Jet fans, you guys are the greatest. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm going to end the message with something, or in the show, I should say, with something positive. I think we need that. All right? I think we need some positivity. Tough Nick loss last night. So I'm going to give you guys some positivity to take us out of here. You ready? Here we go.
I hate this team. I hate them. I hate them.